Episode 4 of When a Normally Disciplined Trader Breaks His Plan. Today, we're going to look at the trades that I took on Friday, August 6th. That was the day that I broke my plan. What did I do wrong? I took too many trades. My plan says that I can only take 3 trades per session. If all 3 trades fail, I must stop trading. Why do I take 3 trades per session? Why don't I just take 1, or why don't I take 5 or whatever? Well, for one thing, I know that my third trade wins more often than my first trade, right? And you can see how the win rate increases on each trade. So, but the reason why I don't go beyond 3 trades is because as I continue to take more trades, I'm much more likely to lose control, to break my plan, because when do you stop? You know, if you're taking 4 or 5 trades, well, just one more trade, just one more trade. The other reason is because if I lose all 3 of these trades, I'm only down 3R for that day. And that's pretty easy to recover when you trade all or nothing 2R. If I win the next trade, I'm now just down minus 1R. If I win the next 2 trades, I'm up 1R. So that's the reasoning why I take just 3 trades. If you lose 4 or 5 trades in a row, it's much harder to recover, even though your probability may go up, should go up as you take more trades. So anyway, let's get to the video and I'll show you the actual trades. So the ticker symbols were Macy's and MRO, Marathon Oil. Both had nice ABCD setups. Both were trading above the 200 MA on the daily chart. They met my screener criteria. So all of that stuff was done according to plan. Even the entries were done according to plan. There was nothing wrong there. So it wasn't like I took some weak setup or took a dumb trade or a bad trade. No, these were all good setups and good trades, but good setups and good trades fail. And that's why you take stop losses, and that's why you have a max loss per day or a maximum number of trades per day in my case. So here on Macy's, you can see a really nice ABCD pattern setting up, trading above the previous day and previous session high. That's what this yellow line is. On Marathon Oil, I did not put a line on the chart, but 1207 was the previous day's high. So obviously it's trading above that high. And now I'm just waiting for a pullback. Well, actually the pullback already happened, and my ideal entry would be 1212. So if the price comes back down to that level, I'm allowed to take an entry, because it makes no difference whether I enter on this candle or on this candle if the price is at 1212, because in neither case has my profit target been hit or my stop loss. So it amounts to the exact same trade. So that's what I do. I'm just waiting for the price to come back down to 1212. Okay, there's where I realized that, okay, my entry is 1212, so I needed to see 1212. There it is, and there you can see I hit my hotkeys. I got some slippage on the way in. That normally does not matter at all, and it didn't matter in this case either. If I would have gotten 1212 or even 1211, the trade still would not have worked out. And right now, the very first thing I always do is I move my stop loss in place, because what happens if I get in and it all of a sudden flushes down against me? I want to be protected against that. Now I'm pulling up my 2R calculator, which is extremely handy. I put in my entry price, my stop loss price. I'm just reading the numbers right from the bubbles, and then I hit enter and it calculates my profit target, and then I just move that profit target bubble in place. And that's it. I'm done with the trade. If you're interested in that 2R calculator, it's available at my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/tradingarmor. I think it's at the $3 tier level, so very affordable, and it's a very cool thing. Makes it very easy to trade, especially if you're an active trader like me. So now I'm looking for the entry on Macy's. So that's trade number 1 on MRO, and here comes our entry for Macy's. You can see 1811 is the high, so as soon as I see 1812, I trigger my hotkeys to get in, and that time I got a perfect fill. And as always, I move my stop loss up to the appropriate level, just in case this thing flushes down. It protects me from a bigger loss. Again, I use my 2R calculator, just hit clear, and plug in the numbers, and it spits out my profit target. 1838. Then I move my profit target bubble in place. There it is at 1838. And now I just bring the chart view down to 4 charts. So I'm just watching. Well, normally I have like the SPY and the NASDAQ up. For some reason, I have the SPY up twice here. And then I'm just focusing on the 2 ticker symbols that I'm in. You can see that I got stopped out on Macy's. So here's the problem. Here is what led me to break the plan that day. Really, there's a couple of things. One is that the plan had some conflicting scenarios in it. So one of them was that if I can't decide which setup that I like the best, and that's what happened on this day. I liked both of these setups a lot. They both look very strong to me. I could not decide which one I thought would be more likely to go to 2R. So there was something in my plan that day. I talk about this in yesterday's video if you want to see that. There was something in my plan that day that told me if I can't decide between which ticker symbol I think looks stronger, then I take an entry on both of them. But then I reserve my third trade for the one that looks the strongest overall. And I've done that before, and it can work. It works out very well if one of those first trades goes to 2R, then it's really easy. You've already gotten a 2R trade. You can move your stop loss up to break even on the other trade if you want, and you're pretty much good to go at that point. But what had never happened until this day was both of those initial trades failed, and that led to a lot of frustration. So you're going to see this MRO trade. Let's just go ahead and fast forward. The MRO trade is going to fail, and now I'm looking for the next entry, and I get triggered immediately after that MRO trade fails. So a lot of things are happening at once here. So there's lots of emotions flying. I'm feeling bummed that, okay, I just got stopped out of that second trade. Here's my third trade. You know, I got to take an entry. I didn't really have a time to decide where do I want to use the third trade. And, you know, I just kind of got into Macy's. Again, the entry itself is good. That's exactly where I'm supposed to enter. I put my stop loss in the right place. But now I'm out of trades, and, you know, I guess, like I said, I was just frustrated that neither of those first trades worked out, even though I know statistically my very first trade has the lowest probability of working out, and that's to be expected. But the other side of that is that if I can't use all three trades on one ticker symbol, then my probability of winning a trade is even lower. So that was why I think I kept wanting to enter into these ticker symbols again and again. So you can see that Macy's stopped me out right away on that other trade. It looks like Webull was glitching. It didn't remove those order bubbles right away, but it did already remove me from that position. So I haven't had any glitches with Webull since that 5.1.10 update, but on this day there were a couple of glitches, and I had to restart the platform at one point, and then everything was fine. So something like that could also be on my end. It could be a computer issue. It could be an internet issue. But anyway, when you know it's a Webull issue is when the glitch happens repeatedly, and I haven't seen it happen repeatedly. This was the very first time it happened since the update. So yeah, so here's where I got in MRO on this is, I think, trade number 5 now. So this is already the second time that I broke my plan in this session. So we'll just fast forward and let this, oh no, so this was trade number 4. Here's trade number 5. I got triggered again on Macy's. And it looks like these trades have a pretty good chance of working out. I had to restart Webull there. That was when I finally restarted it from the glitch. And now everything is working fine. I'm just checking my swing trade, adjusting the stop loss. And so this is trade 4 and this is trade 5. And you can see that they're looking kind of promising right now, but it doesn't even matter. Even if both of these trades worked out, it still would have been a break in my plan, and I would have had to take time off and troubleshoot what went wrong and why I broke my plan, because it's not sustainable. You can't keep breaking your plan and get away with it. You're eventually going to blow up your account if you do that. So really, the fact that I lost both of these trades was the best case scenario, because this is something you really need to watch out for. When you break your plan and your trade works out, there is a strong tendency for you to lie to yourself and say, well, look, I was right. I did the right thing because the trade worked. No, you didn't do the right thing. It doesn't matter whether the trade worked or not. If you broke your plan, you did the wrong thing, and you're going to blow up eventually if you keep doing that. So it would just so happen that both of these trades failed, and it made it just that much easier to admit to myself, which is a very important point as well. You need to admit to yourself that, hey, I messed up. I broke my plan. What I did was wrong, and I need to do something about it so that I don't do that again in the future. That's what yesterday's video was all about. I pointed out all those problems in my plan and corrected them so that my plan is easier to follow, and I'm not going to get frustrated so easily And yeah, that's that. Because when I only trade one ticker symbol, it's so much easier for me to just commit to it and say, okay, I'm going to give it 3 tries. And if the 3 trades don't work out, that's it. I'm done. And I'll come back the next day, look for something else. So let's see. So we're going to just keep watching these and watch me get stopped out. So here's MRO, stops me out. Just going to fast forward. And then Macy's stops me out right there. And then if I let the video play out, you're just going to see me go back to my swing trade. And I stop recording. I didn't take any other trades that day. I'll show you right now inside the Webull platform. I'll set it to that day, August 6th. And then we can even look at not just August 6th, but let's look at from August 6th to August 13th, which is today, so you can see that I have not taken any trades since then. There's probably going to be some orders from me moving my stop loss on SPXL. Let's see, view all orders. Let's do filled. Well, no, I guess those won't show because those aren't actually filled. Those are just me moving. So this is from August 6th to August 13th. Actually, I guess it just shows you all of the previous filled orders because you can see. And then if I go over here, I'm trying to get the little scroll thing to pop up. There we go. So you can see I can't scroll any higher. I'm scrolling all the way to the top there. So you can see that was my last trade that I took. So that's trade 1. Well, that's actually trade 5, trade 4, trade 3, trade 2, trade 1, August 6th, right? And then before that was August 5th. So those were the 5 trades. And so I'm just showing you that to show you that you can, take some time off. You can stick to your word. There's no reason to rush back into trading when you've broken your plan. And you can see that I've been able to do that. That's all part of trader discipline. And I also want to show you the P&L from that day because this looks like, made money since then. And that's just because of the SPXL swing trade. So let's go back to this custom range and set it to August 6th only. And again, it shows green P&L. That's because of my SPXL swing trade. But here is the results of those 5 trades. So in total, I lost 60 cents. And I'm not bringing that up to minimize what I did. And this is really important. Do not jump to the conclusion here that, oh, it's only 60 cents. This is not a big deal. Why are you making such a big deal out of this? It's only 60 cents because I'm just test trading right now with one single share. But if I continue this type of behavior throughout this test trading process, then when I go to full position size, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So whatever I'm doing now is going to be repeated when I'm trading full position size. So if I can break my plan now and lose 5R on one day, I'm going to lose 5R at least on another day when I'm trading with full position size. So this is not to be minimized just because it was only a 60-cent loss. It just doesn't matter at all. It was still a 5R loss. It was still a break in my plan. And that's really the whole point. So this is a serious issue. The only good thing about, hey, that I only lost 60 cents is I'm not hurting my account. And that's the whole point of while you're test trading, just trading one single share and until you've completed 100 trades or more with that test trading. That way, if something goes wrong, if the plan doesn't work or you break your plan, you're not going to hurt your account. So I think we've covered everything. And as always, go into every single trade with a plan, stick to it no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit targets, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.